All right. What the fuck is up? Let's see. Not oink, and I guess this. This. Yes, this. Great. And this. And this is all that matters. Am I audible? I think I am audible. Then I probably must be audible. This. Yeah, man, I'm switching it up. I'm on YouTube. Fuck it. So for the people who watch this stream, my name is Shallow, also known as Dennis. And what I do here is I analyze matches. And why I do that is because I want to develop myself in the sport and want to encourage everyone to develop themselves in this sport. Yeah, that's why. I fucking love the sport. That's why. So finally, we're at the round 32 of this tournament. Statistics. That's an important part of the show, isn't it? Statistics. Let's get statistics up in here. What's evident from a tactical point of view, I'm usually not the biggest tactics guy, and I don't think that's that important, but Canada is applying high press. Of course, is to be expected from a coach who coached at the teams of Red Bull, and it's causing a lot of danger. And I think one of those high regains is gonna definitely cause Canada to go 1-0 in front. This isn't what I want. This is what I want, and this is what I want, and this is what I want. Hey. Yeah, so is there something I can do with a chat or something? I don't fucking know, man. I don't. What kind of... Anyway, yeah, Canada corner at the moment. Let's see what happens. They wasted. They absolutely wasted. So to my... I need to... let's do this. Yeah. Canada absolutely wasted the corner. Let's talk about South Africa a bit in this game. Also, very clear pattern. This is the first time, and I'm so happy that I've watched a match in the World Cup, and there's actually a coherent way of playing of both sides. South Africa's trying to break, basically counter, and not just counter in the classic sense. They counter like a team of sprinters almost, and it's insane to see and quite enjoyable actually. It has led them to get a scoring opportunity as well. A very open game. Started out very open, but a lot of interesting patterns. So a countering team against a high pressing team. And what should be clear to everyone watching this tournament, that Canada is really struggling with converting scoring opportunities into goals. South Africa does not have that problem. So that makes this a very complicated matchup and a very interesting matchup tactically. And I think this is one of those matches, sometimes we talk a lot, we analyze matches, we analyze strengths, weaknesses, but the decider ends up being a hat-trick scored by Messi. I think this match is going to be decided on tactics for once, because these sides both have huge strengths and weaknesses. So the side that is the most conscious of the weaknesses of their opponent, I believe that is the side that is that's gonna win this match. And I don't know, that transition, that breakthrough style of play that South Africa is applying. I don't know. Yeah, they've been doing it this whole tournament, but I don't know if that specifically is gonna threaten Canada as much. I think definitely the high pressing was one of the weaknesses of South Africa. We saw that in the game against Mexico. So for now, tactically, Canada has South Africa figured out better than South Africa has Canada figured out. But don't underestimate the amount of opportunities that Canada needs to score before they, the amount of scoring opportunities they need to create before they can score. And yeah, against South Korea, South Africa showed they did not have that problem. So what I'm wondering is if I can get a chat going or something like that, and I'm gonna try. Don't mind me. Yeah, the high press by Canada is really fun to see, man. I have to say, I'm really enjoying the high press. Now, long ball from South Africa, straight bypassing that high press. And this is the way they look to break. They have a huge opportunity now. They get a connection inside the box. There's a lot more in this for South Africa, but they need to be a bit more conscious of where the spaces are. Great move. Number 6. Dribbles inside. Doesn't get enough out of that. That was Modiba. Insane move. Doesn't make enough out of that, and they go all the way back. But they're in possession. They're trying to make the ball go around quick, but now they lose it. And this is an opportunity to transition for Canada. Jonathan David is making quite some depth. And now Canada gets the connection inside the box. There was a lot more in that. Yeah, let's fix some things. Let's make it almost a professional streamer while I'm stuttering and muttering. I got a chat. So, Canada. Canada lost possession and South Africa lost possession. That's where we left off. Jonathan David, I think that is. No, that's Oluwase. Great pass inside. Jonathan David needed to make a lot more out of that. And this is what I mean, when I say Canada needs a lot of I'm gonna center myself a bit so you know who I am. Yeah, so Canada needs a lot of scoring opportunities to be dangerous in this match. You can they might get them, but it's still a problem that they're so dependent on that. That's a huge problem if you ask me. Great. Everything is set up, everything is working. I'm happy, man. What's this? That's my aircon. It's hot as fuck here. And so this corner leads to a connection inside the box, but a loss of possession as well. Yeah, it's funny. It's hard to say this in a respectful manner. But. It's hard to say this in a respectful manner, but yeah, everyone knows these are not the sides that are gonna win the World Cup. But their weaknesses, man. Their weaknesses. Canada's struggle with scoring goals. South Africa's struggle with this game. No, that's a bit cruel. They're good. They might even win this match. Don't pay too much attention to my jokes, but South Africa's obvious limitations in player quality, possession, keeping possession of the ball, make this such an interesting matchup. But interesting, but yeah, not of the high level yet. I was thinking about the group stages. I haven't been live for a long time. I haven't analyzed the match in ages. I think about 3 weeks now, but I didn't enjoy the group stages of the World Cup. Not at all. And that is because just because the quality wasn't just because the quality wasn't up to up to the level of a World Cup yet. And now in the knockout stages, of course, the thought is, let's hope the level takes up. But Canada's problems with finishing and South Africa's problems with keeping possession, that also make this a complicated match to enjoy. But at least the decision is gonna be made tactically. I think the decisive factor is gonna be tactics. I think it's the decision of Canada to press up high is gonna pay off with a goal scored out of a high regain, just like for example Mexico did, and we've seen South Africa struggle with this whole tournament. But other than that, I hope the level increases a bit. It has not been of a World Cup level yet, and that's of course because there are 48 freaking teams in this year's edition. People are okay. I think Canada loses the ball. Let's see, what was this? Canada lost it. South Africa lost it. Ooh, great attempt on goal for Canada. Connection inside the box. Scoring opportunity leads to loss of possession. Need to be they definitely need to be more definitely need to do better with those scoring opportunities. Otherwise, they're gonna offer South Africa momentum in this match that they might not even earn by just playing better than the opponent, just because of the amount of opportunities they waste. And by wasting those opportunities, they are allowing a side in this game who up until now has had one shot on goal. Hydration break. Brilliant. Who doesn't like the hydration breaks? I'm gonna grab water for the hydration break. Hydration break. The match has been decent up until now. Could have been a lot worse, but the most interesting thing is still gonna be the impact of the tactics and the strategy both of these teams are applying. But other than that, there is also the fact of Canada's footballing actions not being up to par yet, and that alone is actually making South Africa a contender in this match, which is a shame for Canada, because if they could have just had a bit higher quality of footballing actions, they would be 1-0 in front. They've had the opportunities to get that goal. There are a lot of things they can adapt. There are a lot of things they can do to win the match. But most important thing for this stream, for the purpose of analyzing this match, what is going to break the deadlock? Either is it going to be South Africa breaking, finding a counter opportunity, and being cutthroat, being lethal, whereas Canada can't, or struggling to do that? Or is it going to be Canada's excellent plan in pressing up high, recovering up high, finding the correct player, and scoring? I think, of course, if they would bring on more players capable of causing a threat, like, for example, Kyle Larin, Alphonso Davies, they would struggle a bit less in this match, but those are decisions we will have to see if they get made. Excited to see if they get made. Would love to see that. Up until now, both of these sides are equal. There is no better side yet. Alright, looks like we're gonna continue play here. And we play on. ridiculous patterns starting to evolve in the South Africa side. As you can see, they've lost possessions from the build-up on their own half 3 times now. 2 of those came from the goalkeeper. If you're this scared of possession, you're gonna struggle a lot in this match. And it's up to Canada, man. If they can put players on the field with a higher quality of footballing action than they have shown up until now. The game is there to grab for Canada. That's what I have to say, basically. The game is up for the taking for Canada. South Africa's plan does not make any sense. Just like none of their plans made any sense during this tournament. But it's basically just a heightened level of concentrations and better footballing actions that are keeping them in the game. So, in possession, Canada struggles a lot. You can see that they don't really know what to do with possession. Often they end up losing it when in possession, and then they apply quite a decent counter press, and that's actually the moment when they get dangerous. And they have left possession to South Africa mostly, and I think it's because of this. Now applying the long ball. Can they hang on to possession here? No, they can't. Can South Africa break according to their plan? South Africa, very patient. Just letting the ball go around on their own half. 6 players of Canada on the opponent half, ready to press. They're waiting for a trigger. They're not applying pressure on the goalkeeper or the center backs. That looks very conscious. And 48 teams in a World Cup. Now they apply the long ball. There is great ball by Mokuna. There's Modibo again. South Africa hangs on to possession. Long ball. Easy catch for goalkeeper Crepeau. And South Africa end up losing it on the opponent half. High press now from South Africa, trying to catch Canada off guard, but they're not really phased by the high pressure, just because it's one person pressing. It's not really organized. The only thing that is organized is South Africa's speed of transitioning when they see that Canada's organization is not in place, and they can apply through balls straight through the middle and find the wings with pace. From open play, from an attacking or a defending standpoint, both of these sides are not up to the level of the World Cup. From a transitioning standpoint, both of these sides are looking to progress to the second round that way. When you look at the way Canada's trying to do that, it's definitely according to the weakness of South Africa, which is keeping possession on the own half, applying a correct defensive organization when they lose the ball. Canada does not have a weakness in counterattack. This is the plan for South Africa. Best bet for South Africa would be to play more on the opponent half, play more attacking, because they have players who can finish scoring opportunities a lot easier than most of the Canada players, but they haven't done that so far. That's the reason for the deadlock. And it's very interesting to try to understand, to try to pinpoint the moment where these strategies are decisive in this match. That's the most important thing. Like I said before, might just be fun to just wait for that single moment that's gonna break the deadlock if it comes, and analyze how it arose, how it happened. Canada now loses possession on South Africa's half, and they actually succeed in getting a goal kick out of that. It's quite poor from Canada not to keep possession there. Goalkeeper Williams, of course, no press being applied. Now some pressure is applied, and the ball is kicked long immediately. That's the reason why not a lot of pressure is applied by Canada. I figured it out now, because the moment the press is applied, the long ball is played, and Canada is trying to avoid that. They want to keep the ball on South Africa's half. It's a good plan. There's nothing wrong with Canada's plan. It's excellent, actually. And I think it's gonna work, actually, because it's that excellent. But they're gonna struggle a lot. Now, high regain. Space on the right side, space on the left side. They don't find it, but now they have Oluwaseyi in possession, who gets a connection inside the box, but it ends up in a possession loss for Canada. Great play by Saliba there. We haven't seen this much of yet. Now a counter opportunity for South Africa. Connection inside the box. He slips. Can he regain his composure? Maseko. And that's going to be a corner. Unfortunate slip there for Maseko. Of course, one of those opportunities they were waiting for. As we look at Oluwaseyi's attempt on goal, which led to absolutely nothing, because that's not the correct decision there. See how excellent their plan is, impressing in defensive organization on the opponent half. That's how poor their plan is in attack. Decision making, shots, pass quality. None of that is up to the level to score against South Africa in this match up until now. And what ends up being decisive in those cases are most of the time statistics. So we're gonna add them up in about 10 minutes. We're gonna look at how what both of these teams have actually achieved during this game, with the goal of winning this match. And the team that's gonna persevere and try to get those numbers up is gonna profit from that, and it's gonna win that match. We might be in for a long one. Excellent positioning again by Jonathan David. Unfortunately for him, doesn't get the high regain. Now Canada will look to press up high once again. South Africa have the opportunity to play a through ball. Apollos, one of South Africa's best players, gets a connection inside, and he gets inside the corner, I believe. Great player. One of the few players of South Africa who's actually Yeah, offside, right. Of course, offside always a risk in that situation. But one of the better players of South Africa, let me put it that way, Apollos. And why? Because of his quality in his dribbles, passes, but most of all, knowing where the spaces are. Someone South Africa are hugely dependent on in getting results. Okay, so now we're gonna look at a Canada build-up. It hasn't been good, just to be honest. Their build-up hasn't been good enough, and that's mostly because of the pass quality and mostly because of the direction of their passing. It has not been. They have just not been able to move the ball to the correct spaces on the opponent half. You saw it best with the attempt by Oluwase. You shoot on goal there, whereas the most logical thing to do there is to find your fellow teammate in front of an empty goal. Oh well, they're on the opponent half now. 1v1, struggling to beat their direct opponent as well, as now Saliba loses possession. Opportunity to press though for Canada. To be honest, these are the most important moments for Canada when they lose it. See, now they regain it, and then they lose it again, and then they regain it again. Terrible decision making by Buchanan. Doesn't recognize depth. South Africa recognizes depth in this match, which they are not doing up until now. Oh, that's a silly foul. Number 13, Sitole, got the red card in the first match. Ridiculous foul. But if South Africa could recognize where the opportunities to create depth are, they're gonna eliminate Canada. And that's unfortunate for Canada because they're the better team up until now. But that's basically just the situation. But they haven't. Canada is sticking to their plan. Definitely needs to realize. Definitely needs to realize where the final passes need to be played and what kind of shot is necessary to get shots on target. Okay, now keeper Crepeau is gonna kick it long. Buchanan not playing a good match. Bombito almost loses possession. Now they hang on to it with Johnston. And a foul is definitely made on Oluwase. I don't understand the choice for this guy. Oluwase, Villarreal forward. Yeah, the aerial duels, right? They weren't very tall, South African players. Free kick from the right wing. Number 7, Eustáquio, is behind the ball. You know, open play is in case of open play, this game is very congested. There are not a lot of spaces for both of these teams to score from open play. Set pieces might be a very strong tool for Canada, but they haven't, they've connected, but they haven't been effective yet. Let's see. Yeah, just a loss of possession, nothing more. The player who actually heads that ball over there is not the player that needs to go for that aerial duel. Oh well. South Africa in build up. Williams in possession. Pushing his man up forward. Says he's gonna kick it long. Canada braced themselves for a long ball. both players making a foul, and it leads to South Africa losing possession from build-up. Both of these teams could be defined as wasteful in possession. They don't create enough opportunities out of possession spells. Canada making the correct moves, Canada making the correct dribble sprints. I see them occupying the correct spaces. Just that final pass is not directed towards those excellent runs being made. They're not succeeding in playing in depth yet. Now a great attempt down the left wing. I think that's Johnston. Takes a bit too many touches on the ball. Great run though, and great pass finally in the right direction. Great pass towards Oluwaseyi as well. So a very promising connection for Canada. First time of this match they've actually shown signs of being able to execute a execute an attack quite successfully. That touch there by Johnston is brilliant. Just the final direction should have been aimed toward Oluwaseyi, and they would have gone in front. Another corner. This first half has flown by. Literally flown by. Let's see what's still in it. Referee giving some final warnings. See if they can time their header a bit better. Yes, they can. Excellent corner for Canada. Leads to scoring opportunity. And Canada almost went 1-0 in front with a corner. Best bet for Canada. Best strategy going into the second half would definitely be not playing to their weaknesses, playing to their strengths. And their strengths definitely are in the connections they get in the box, in the aerial duels. This is an excellent header by Bombito. And what an absolute mess, man. Yeah, they should not try to play out those matches with the huge trouble and difficulty they have been doing so far in this first half. They should just play to their strengths, play crosses when they reach the wing, and that's gonna result in them finding a lot more scoring opportunities, and those scoring opportunities are gonna result in Canada getting the goal they need to progress to the next round, which would be, to be fair, amazing for Canada to be in a round of 16 in the World Cup. Great pass. That's a penalty. Connection inside the box. That's a penalty. Can't fool me. If you're not gonna give it, VAR is gonna give it, my guy. That's a penalty. Great attack. Finding the ways to get the connection, play the through ball correctly. Just struggling with the let's see here. Gets a touch on the ball. Ooh. He actually hooks his foot on the South Africa player, and that's not a penalty. Let's see. He gets a touch on that ball, and he touches the South Africa player himself. Yeah, he tries to get a penalty. Very clever. But that's going to lead to a loss of possession. Fooled me. Definitely fooled me, but that's not a penalty. Don't think VAR is going to call him over for that. And we play on. Is VAR going to call him over for that? That's ridiculous, man. I don't think they have to... This is taking long, man. This is taking way too long. Yeah, exactly. No need. We play on. And so instead of applying crosses and playing to their strengths, they have now resorted to trying to get penalties because of not being able to play the decisive pass. It's actually quite sad. Um, and I think Jesse Marsh, the Canada coach, could help his players a lot by showing them how they have been dangerous in this match, which is from aerial duels and from high regains. And, combining those two, that's definitely going to help them. They have been struggling in build-up a lot. Now they make some depth, but Oluwase doesn't position his body towards the opponent goal. Definitely a problem. Now he's going to try to beat 4 South Africa defenders, which is ridiculous. Ends up losing possession, of course. South Africa lose it, but Canada hasn't won it over yet. South Africa still in possession. Great dispossession, but the referee says a foul was made. Final seconds of this half, about 30 seconds remain. Could have been a lot better. But referee ends the first half. So yeah, I'm gonna take short break. I'm gonna eat a bit, and then we'll be back with the second half. I think there's a lot of potential for Canada to get something out of this match. That's what my opinion is, and only if they fail to be active and to seize on the opportunities that they are able to create and play to their strengths, only then will they see that some of these South Africa players are actually cutthroat and can score a goal quite easily if you allow them space. But that will be unfortunate. Best thing for Canada would be continue with the plan of eye pressing, trying to get the transition after dispossessing on the opponent half. But after that, realizing that the build-up is not in the state that it needs to be for this match. They might be having an off day. They might be, they just might not have the pass quality or have developed the insight yet tactically to find each other. They might not have the chemistry among each other to know how they move interdependent of each other, Lots of reasons, lots of possible reasons. No need to speculate on that. Bottom line is, after those high dispossessions, if they just play it long, if they just cross it, try to win the aerial duel, I think they're going to win this match. And I think they're going to win it quite comfortably. Because after that goal, you're not going to see a lot of confidence and ability from South Africa to trouble Canada. Alright guys, see you in a couple of minutes. See you in about 10 minutes. Adios. Short break. What's up, man? I'm back at it. So, the second half is gonna kick off, and I want to emphasize something that's probably, the most important thing, which is this. Alphonso Davies is fit again, and the moment he comes on, uh, the amount of quality a player like that will bring to this tactically deadlocked game, where the footballing actions are not up to par, to change the course of this match to profit any team, any of these teams. Both are sticking to their plan and it's not working. Even though Canada had the biggest opportunities and have the biggest momentum. What the frick just happened? I don't understand what happened, man. This? No, not that. This. Did this disconnect or some shit? I don't know. Here? Shit always malfunctions, man. Just malfunctions. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's gonna be one of the things that's gonna give us the most chance of seeing the deadlock being broken. Otherwise, these teams are gonna go all the way to penalties. And who wants to see that, man? All right, second half about to kick off. Get ready. Yeah, there we go. Let me just quickly count up the points. Forgot to do that, of course. So 4 or 5 for South Africa. For Canada, it's 11, 12, 17. Oh, plus 12. That's impressive. Mistakes 9, 19, 20, minus 15. 22, 23, minus 6. So plus 9. Okay. Canada quite dominant when we look at it from a statistical point of view. Okay, so Mofokeng is off and Bata is on. Both of these players haven't impressed me during this tournament. And already Canada's in transition. Terrible connection inside the box and a terrible shot as well. So what happened is South Africa lost possession. Did Canada even get a connection? No. Canada lost possessions. The most important thing for Canada is gonna be bringing a player who recognizes depth, can play in depth, can make depth, can beat his opponents in the 1v1, can shoot on target, can pass the ball in the exact correct direction. Of course, I'm talking about Alphonso Davies, but even a player like Carl Laren as well. Excellent press from Oluwaseyi. Awesome to see in this match, and now get some support from Miller as well. This is better. This is a lot better from Canada. This is what's gotten them success in that first half. This is what's gotten them, a statistical lead. And they need to get a goal because South Africa doesn't need a lot of scoring opportunities to score. So it's going to be very, very important for Canada to get that goal. To get one goal in this match. That's what I'm saying. Not to get the first goal or whatever. It's very important for them to get one goal. more than ever. Okay. Terrible play from South Africa. Oluwase, that's not a good pass. Should have been played over the ground. Plays it high. But it leads to Canada possession at least. Now what can they do with it? They play in a terrible ball, and now they're going to apply high press. But the referee stops them in their tracks, says a foul was made. Do they have other players? I'm not cognizant of. Let's look through their look through their whole team. So of course they have Promise David, and then they have Segur, a player I don't know a lot about, but apparently has some quality. Playing for Split, interesting. Into the flood again. Okay. 4 minutes have passed. Same images. Canada applying applying a pretty good plan in disciplined fashion. It hasn't worked out for them yet. It's gonna be interesting to see how this game is gonna progress. I'm here for it. Finally, knockout football. Step up your game or get knocked out, man. Finally. So loss of possession on their own half from South Africa once again. Referee now pauses play. I have no clue why. Player is injured. Possible head injury. So we're gonna pause the game for that, of course. I think that's the new sub, right? No, it's Mokuna. Gets a bit of an uncomfortable slurring my words. Gets a bit of an uncomfortable altercation there. We play on. Canada in possession on the opponent half. Gonna take a throw in a bit further up the field. So now, if I'm Jesse Marsch, I'm saying swing this one straight into the penalty area. Fuck the build up. Screw the build up. It isn't working. Let's focus on what we can do that will work in this match. And it looks like they're gonna do that. So don't count this guy. Don't count them out yet, man. They're sticking to their strengths a bit more. Great throw in. Goes long. Gets them almost a connection inside the box. Need to be careful with the counter here. I think that's Laria. Plays in Miller. Yeah, they're sticking a bit more to an organized structure. The 4-4-2 is a bit more visible for Canada. Buchanan making some depth. There is Saliba. Johnston. And they're gonna take a throw in now. Yeah, let's take it long again, man. Take it long again. Come on. This is the winning strategy for Canada, and I'm stoked for them to have figured it out. They're gonna throw it. They're gonna throw it long again. Let's see what happens. Long throw, connection by Oluwase. That's not a clean header. Yeah, Oluwase is not helping Canada in the striker position. He might offer them something on the wing, but not in the striker position. Canada needs Laren and Alphonso Davies. Great defending inside the box from Canada. Referee is now cautioning Laria. Yeah, they're both holding on to each other. And then he gets kicked in the head. Either way, South Africa lose possession on the opponent half and we play on. Laria. There's no communication as well. They end up losing possession on their own half. It's been a struggle, and it's gonna continue to be a struggle for Canada most of all, but also for well, South Africa is probably counting their blessings and very happy with the way this game is going. Actually, waiting for that one moment and just be decisive when it happens. But they lose possession first on the opponent half. Goalkeeper Crepeau goes long. Yeah, that's the spirit. Tries to connect it immediately towards Jonathan David. They fail to do so. And Lariat tries to get a high regain. Instead ends up losing possession on the opponent half. That was definitely a foul. A bit of frustration creeping into to the left back, Richie Laria. Hasn't played a good match at all. South Africa build up again. Trying to find runners in behind. Foul made. Yellow cards given. Saliba. Great. Maybe now you can bring Nico Seeger on. No. In all seriousness, a lot of these Canada players really struggling to play at this level. A lot of these South Africa players as well, but they have a bit more they are adapting a bit more to their limited skill set. Canada needs to do that as well. It's excellent that they're doing that with the long throw, trying to win this game on aerial duels, for example, playing to their strengths. Still struggling. These first 15 minutes are almost over, and the phase of the game in which the decisive moment is gonna come is slowly but surely happening. A mistake is gonna be very fatal in this game, even more than higher level games. I usually think that mistakes can be corrected in a match. This match, I don't think that if any of these teams or great transition opportunity, this is what they're working on. South Africa down the right. Can they get a connection inside the box? Decent defending by Canada, but it's not good enough to try to get it wide once again. Their star player Mudau, that's the guy who has impressed me this tournament. And Bokazi plays it all the way to the left to Modiba. Cross. Crepeau. Loss of possession, South Africa. Yeah, there you saw a bit of a taste of what South Africa can do to you. And what I said, one of those mistakes in the loss of possession on the own half for Canada here. One of those transitions where Canada is caught off guard. It's gonna be very lethal for them. One of the high regains wherein Canada finds depth. It's gonna be very lethal for South Africa. Up until now, deadlock still not broken. Foul made by South Africa on the opponent half, so Canada's gonna take a free kick. Player clinging on to his head, apparently in a bit of pain. Hope he's all right. Eustáquio. Let's see what happened here. Not much in that. Yeah, he gets shoved down, but that is all. Into the flood again. Yeah, we're all waiting for Alphonso Davies at this point. It's just that simple. And even with him, Canada's gonna struggle to profit from the spaces they find. Even with Alphonso Davies in the game, they're gonna have to be very they're gonna have to be very, very a lot better than they have been up until now to get to get scoring opportunities. But what's positive is that they have 4 shots on target now. So what's present in the statistics is slowly coming out in this game. And the first substitute for Canada is gonna be made. I believe Saliba and Bombito are off. And the Fugaro and Sigor come on. Yeah, so Sigor is on. That's great for Saliba. And the Fugaro, also not a player who has played a terrific tournament yet. Out and out defender. Can do a bit better though. Let's see. Play short passes, dribble, tackle, discipline. Alright, play on. I don't know why they did the hydration break before the hydration break, but oh well. After that, we'll have another hydration break. Laria. Fugaro gets his first touch of the game. Cornelius. Great ball. Great ball by Cornelius. Oluwaseyi. Jonathan David is on an island up there on his own. There's Miller, I think. Connection inside the box. But a loss of possession. Great high press. Referee's not having it. Says a foul was made by Cornelius. Slowly, very slowly, Canada is playing a better match. But at this tempo, they might grow into this game after South Africa score. So there are two possibilities for Canada. Either up their defensive effort and just make sure that South Africa does not score and then try to gain momentum in this game. Or play a better offensive strategy. Play to your strengths. Play the ball deep. You have some fast strikers up forward with some excellent dribbling, good passing. You can reach them with a long ball, with a cross as well. You have some aerial threat with Oluwaseyi. Otherwise, they're gonna be in trouble. Terrible long pass from South Africa leads to loss of possession. And now Laria's in possession. Patience as well. There's no patience in this Canada build-up. It's like they feel a rush, and there is none, because they're playing a decent game, not good, decent game, and when they rush what is already troubling them, they're just bringing South Africa into this game. Great sliding tackle from the Fugaro. Still South Africa in possession. And Bokazi and Ocon. And Williams. Making that triangle. Long ball. The Fugaro challenges for it. Not well played by right midfielder Buchanan. And we're gonna see, David with a good press. Now, can Canada shift this press to the other side quickly? No, they can't. And that's going to allow spaces for South Africa. There it is. And those are not the players you want on the ball. And yeah, these are the moments with Apollos now. Great player. These are the moments that Canada is going to concede. You know what? That's not a bad attempt at all. And that was going in. Canada in huge amounts of trouble. And they have some player quality on the bench that can correct the situation. And they need to use it before South Africa scores. It's that simple. That was a huge warning shot from South Africa. Huge warning shot. Great shot from my guy Apollos, man. I tell you, this South Africa side is Apollos, Mudau. Some good players. Fourth shot of the game for South Africa. Great long ball now. Great idea as well. Unfortunately, they lose it for South Africa. And now some more spaces. As South Africa grows in confidence, these spaces arise for Canada to counter, which is interesting. And let's see what happens. Into the flood again. Long throw, good idea. Win the first one. If you can't win the second one, Laria, space with Miller. Loss of possession, Canada. I can't believe my eyes sometimes. Can't believe what I'm seeing sometimes, man. Some of the Davies is warming up. Okay, so this possession from Canada, positive, great long ball. There's Oluwaseyi. And this is positive from Canada. So now, as Canada switched to a more transition-oriented counter-attacking strategy, we can see that the situation becomes a lot more simple for them. They play in the through ball. They find Oluwaseyi. This is good. And it almost leads to the 0-1. And it would have been, it would have been deserved, in my opinion. But this is what they need to do. Play simple. Play on transition. Play on long balls. Play on crosses. And yeah, especially when Alphonso Davies is going to enter the game. This is going to... Yeah, this is gonna be. We're gonna be seeing a lot more of this, and I think Canada can profit from this. They need to improve their defensive stability, their defensive quality, and when Alphonso Davies enters, they need to focus on the counter. That was very promising for Canada. Aerial duel connection for the Fougerolles, but that connection leads to a loss of possession. Yeah, I'm enjoying the match. If Canada's gonna play like this is a lot better. Of course, in those counters, there's not a lot of complex things you need to do or directions you need to pass. You see two runners in front of you. You play the through ball. The ball was good. Oluwaseyi knows what to do. He's one-on-one versus the goalkeeper. Better, a lot better from Canada. Biggest opportunity of the match for Oluwaseyi. And these attacks. Are going to get them closer to that first goal. And that's very important. Simple. They have to simplify their game. They don't have the quality of footballing actions to play the complex game they have been playing. They have the quality of footballing actions to apply a high press, which is very laudable, which is very good of them that they have mastered that. But, yeah, this is better. A lot more direct play from Canada now. Buchanan down the right wing. Might have been offside, but we play on. He's definitely offside now, if you ask me. But we are playing on. Buchanan. Terrible play from... was that Seager? And he gets a yellow card as well. Yeah, Seager, terrible play. So, like I said, simplify... Seager has not gotten that memo yet, and we are gonna head into the water break. And for me, there is only one thing that is essential, and I'm gonna show you guys. I see Oluwaseyi is coming off. It looks like it, at least in this hydration break. Promise David. Good substitution. Schafelberg also coming on. Promise David is an excellent sub to bring on. Oh. And who else is off? Miller is off. Also didn't have a huge impact in this game. And in his place comes Schafelberg. Yeah. Promise David a player who can adapt to the more simple game that's necessary. Let's look at Schaffelberg. Jacob Schaffelberg, key pass is great. Likes to cross, does not dive into tackles. Yeah, a bit more direct football is necessary. Let's see what these substitutions, what the effect is gonna be. Let's see if we're gonna see Alphonso Davies today. His impact would be major in this match, let me tell you. And I think it's a mistake to wait for a possible extra time. I think they can do a lot more. They can do a lot better, Canada, just in regular time. That's not a foul, ref. That's just to be honest, that's not a foul. Anyway, so the Nico Sigurd, I believe, with the high press, and the referee calls a foul. You know, it shows in the stats what I've been saying, eh? The pass success being 77% for Canada. That's not up to par with the knockout level. But I'm happy to be able to be watching this match, and I like the World Cup, but just Canada not seizing on the opportunity to dominate this opponent, which they are, especially tactically and tactically superior to, but just not having the skill to execute those tactics. Long ball now. South Africa retain possession. Now they're gonna lose it with Cornelius. Lariat tries to get something out of it, ends up losing possession on his own half. South Africa build up. We are in for a long one, aren't we? Oh, that's great press from Buchanan on the right wing on Modiba. But foul made once again, and South Africa free kick. Into the flood again. So I made a big mistake. No press on the goalkeepers or the center backs. Neither from Promise David, neither from Jonathan David. Number 7, Eustachio. It's fun though. It's exciting. It's tense. This is a tense game. I just fear for Canada being punished with that one lethal opportunity for South Africa. You've seen with Apollos how great the quality of their shooting is in comparison to Canada's. And this long ball is great. And there's a lot of space on the left wing now. Apollos, can he move it there? These are those dangerous moments that Canada needs to avoid. Mudau, can they get a connection inside the box? They cannot. Attempt from distance goes wide. Yeah, two sides struggling a lot. Both of them are. South Africa also struggling with finding the correct passing directions in those attacks, in those transitions, and they need to do a lot better if they want to trouble Canada in transition. Now Buchanan is off. Let's see if we're gonna see Alphonso Davies here. It's gonna be the most most important substitution of the game. Gonna have a huge impact on this game, I believe. I think it's because of injuries, seeing as though this game might go to extra time. They've been cautious with him, but a player of a much higher quality. Passing, very strong. Dribbling, very strong. Holding on to the ball, can hold on to possession, can find the direction in passing. Also a threat from those counters. Let's see where he's gonna play. Doesn't appear to be playing at left back. He's more in the left wing position, actually, trying to force the issue. And they might even switch formation. Let's see. It's going to be very interesting to look at that. Okay, decent defending by Canada now. Definitely the boost that Jesse Marsh was talking about. Davies, that's so much better, isn't it? Just the pass by Alphonso Davies is like water in a desert in this match, man. That pass towards Jonathan David. Quick layoff to Promise David, who is someone to be cherished for Canada. I must say, I like him a lot. And this is a freaking awesome attempt. And gets Canada very close to a win. Alrighty. So let's see, there's about 20 minutes remaining in this game. Something like that. Let's count up the score once again. So South Africa had that attempt with Apollos, nothing else. And Canada has been steadily improving their game. 16, 18, plus 5, so 23. Decent. So plus 17. Decent. 21, 31, 32. So 24 plus 2 is minus 26 for South Africa, who have already lost it here, but they're applying some great pressure. South Africa have lost here. So let's say minus 27. And when we look to 20, 31, plus 6 is 37. So minus 14 is plus 13. Canada definitely improved in this second half. And now Davies on that left wing. It's gonna cause South Africa some trouble. Okay, there's Eustáquio. There's Alphonso Davies. Let's see if he can get the direction right. He can get a connection inside the box immediately. Jonathan David, huge opportunity. This is what was missing from this Canada team. Alphonso Davies, immediate impact. Caused two direct scoring opportunities. One from Promise David, one from Jonathan David. And I think we haven't seen the last of that. Canada can be very happy that they kept it to a 0-0 up until he entered the game. South Africa was very close with Apollos, but now I think these opportunities for Canada are going to stack up. And I believe otherwise we were heading to penalties, man. I think penalties can be avoided now. Let's see how this match is going to progress. Tactically, they have both disappointed. In terms technically, they have both disappointed. Mentality-wise, South Africa is playing decent. Canada has shown some lapses in concentration. But yeah. Alphonso Davies. It's gonna be interesting to see direct impact. If he can make it. Let's see. Heading towards the 80th minute of official time. Incredible. Cornelius in possession. Alphonso Davies. Cornelius. Crepeau with a long ball. Tries to reach Alphonso Davies at least. And this is a Canada throw. There's Cornelius. Laria. Eustáquio. Canada building up. Great pass. Cornelius. De Fougerolles. Alphonso Davies, open on the left wing. Tries to play in. Promise David. Ball intercepted. Now some counter-pressing opportunities. Sigur. Cornelius. Alphonso Davies. Eustáquio. Cornelius. Eustáquio. Terrible pass. Loss of possession. But a loss of possession from South Africa on their own half as well. Canada slowly creeping towards that goal. Very slowly. Good ball. Jonathan David on the right wing now. Creative positioning. There is Johnston, excuse me. The cross was decent, but they have lost possession. They need to apply immediate counter press to avoid a transition. And instead they opt for a foul, which is also an option, because they would have been in huge trouble otherwise. Final 15 minutes of the game. This was the pass towards Jonathan David. Hit it in the far corner. Hit it in the near corner, excuse me. Williams had it covered. But the danger that Davies adds to this Canada side is very clear. Great defense by Johnston, who's one of the only players I think is playing a functional game for Canada before Alphonso Davies entered. And now Promise David, unfortunately, just hands over possession. Risk still in this game for Canada, but a lot of things appearing a bit better. Let's see who's gonna book themselves a ticket to the next to the round of 16. Williams, Mbokazi, long ball, loss of possession. Eustáquio, David, a lot more positive, a lot more direct from Canada. Lose possession though. Need to avoid a transition here. Can be very dangerous. And they do with the Fougeral, who's also impressed me quite a bit. Has had a good, oh, that's a good ball. And try to connect inside, but just can't get the hang of it. Once again, good defending. Davies now loses possession. Yeah, Schalfenberg. Not getting on the end of that ball. I was talking about Johnston, who's played decent. Fougeral who's played a decent match. Alphonso Davies, immediate impact, but still, this is a tense affair. Let me tell you, for Canada mostly. South Africa is just hanging on, but they need to find a way to either not allow South Africa any transition or any space on the wing, or they need to get enough scoring opportunities to get one goal in this game. It's that simple. It will kill off all hope South Africa has. Apollos now, great shot from distance, and Crepeau gets on the end of that. You gotta love that guy, right? Apollos, I love him. Anyway, great shot from distance once again. Tries his luck. There we have Schalfenberg now. Great pass for once. Finds Jonathan David. This pass isn't good. Counter press might profit Canada. Can Laria apply it? He cannot. And now Canada has to prevent another transition with Mudau. And the referee says this was a clean challenge. Didn't look like one, but we're playing on. And lots of space for Canada to attack, with Eustáquio and Alphonso Davies. And Davies loses the ball. Apollos is gonna go at it on his own. And And now he gets dispossessed, but before he gets dispossessed, the referee says a foul was made. Reiners and Moremi coming on for South Africa. I know Reiners quite well. Hasn't impressed me. Number 17 is off. Makopa. Of course. So he's gonna replace Makopa in the striker position. Reiners. And Moremi. Haven't seen a lot of him yet. Sepang Moremi. Pirates midfielder. Let's see what they can add to this game. Two substitutions remaining for South Africa as we play on. About 4 minutes of official playing time. About 10 minutes of total playing time. Canada needs to defend very, very well. It's going to be very important for them. Jonathan David, high pressure. Schaffelberg in behind enemy lines. But good defending by South Africa. And now foul by Alphonso Davies. Referee's going to caution him. As he should. So, it's Laria. So harsh foul on Mudau. But one he had to make. Okay, so South Africa lose possession. And Canada lose possession. They're going to try to build from the back, but they don't do a lot of building from the back. They're going to play it long the first instance they can. But they fail to do so. And now a lot of players behind the ball for Canada. Davies. Schaffelberg was making a good run. And Davies just hands over possession. And 4-man rest defense of Canada covering 3 players. Reiners. And now all 10 players of South Africa almost on Canada's half. Canada behind the ball. Is there still a moment in this regular time? Let's see. Great press from Canada, but Modiba keeps the ball in. And Bokazi, Sitole, Mudau. Paul down the right wing. Always causing danger. Great ball in behind enemy lines. Reiners needed to do a lot better there. And South Africa lose the ball because they make a foul. If this guy Apollos, man, he's playing such a good match. That first touch by Reiners, Ikram Reiners, is so bad. And if that touch would have been directed towards goal, South Africa would have gotten the moment they wanted, and they would have gone 1-0 in front. Unfortunate. Okay, ball to the wing. Terrible ball to the wing. And Canada concede possession. A lot of that has happened in the second half for Canada. And this match isn't over yet, man. There's still a lot of extra time in it. And a lot of opportunities for South Africa to play in those spaces behind the lines, like they just did with Apollos and Reiners. The question is, can they find a player like Apollos or Mudau behind those enemy lines? They will be a lot more dangerous. Williams on his own half. No press. Just like the whole game. No press on the first line of defense. Jonathan David and Promise David. Williams. Let's see how many extra time is going to be awarded. I'd have about 6. 5 minutes of extra time. Williams. Yeah, South Africa just basically wait for that line to rise, excuse me, and then when that happens, they play the long ball. That's all. And oof, dangerous as Canada lost it, and then South Africa lost it again. Lots of space in behind now with Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies. Great challenge by Mudau, not allowing them any space. Alphonso Davies being a bit frustrated. These are the guys he has to do it with. This is the team. No need for frustration. Isn't going to bring him anything. Fougeral. Schaffelberg. De Fougeral. He has impressed me. Sigur. Schaffelberg. Not a good cross. There's the counter press and Canada. 1-0 Eustáquio. So yeah. Was coming. But it took them a while, man. It took them a freaking while. I do believe Alphonso Davies brought them a lot of stability in the second half. But I also have to say, De Fougeral had an excellent half. Played an extraordinary game because De Fougeral brought that defensive stability for Canada. He a lot more of those attempts to find depth for South Africa were blocked immediately by De Fougeral, and that allowed more forward momentum for Canada. Yeah, but mostly Alphonso Davies' impact is clear, and yeah, how can I say this? Yeah, you can see it's still from a counter-pressing moment, you know. It's after the loss of possession that they regain the possession, and then they're dangerous. From open play, Canada isn't capable of causing a lot of problems for South Africa. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Okay, so South Africa lose it on the opponent half. And they're going to try to apply some counter pressing. Crepeau isn't phased by that pressure. Can they regain it? No, they cannot. Excellent work by Davies. Long ball towards Promise David. He's quite some strength, but he ends up losing it. Was a good goal though by Eustáquio, has to be said. It was a good goal, but the decisive impact was from Alphonso Davies, and you can just see how heavily Canada relies on him. So South Africa lose possession now, and Canada's gonna write history, man. Great attempt on goal. This is the opportunity they've been waiting for this entire game. And they got it. And it's fun to see the reactions. And yeah, this is a well-earned victory. And I'm going to, of course, write it down in statistics. And then it'll be clear why I think this is a deserved victory. But I also believe it wouldn't have happened without Alphonso Davies. Because a lot of these players are still learning to play this game and get the ball in the correct direction. And, you know, be lethal in decision making. But yeah, counter pressing, something they do. They did learn from Jesse Marsch. Okay, so final 30 seconds of the game. South Africa in possession, but good defending again. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that good defending came from De Fougeral. But we'll have to see. Long ball. So they don't get a connection inside. Schaffelberg in pain. Tight game. Dying seconds. I would have blown the whistle. think after this attempt, the referee will do so as well. But can South Africa be dangerous before that's the case? Mudau. Apollos. And that will be the end of it, I think. Referee might blow for the end of this match any moment now, I think. It is over. So South Africa lose possession. Now the referee's gonna end the match. Into the flood again. Yes, Canada has done it. Let's add up the final score here. Full-time score 3, 6, 7, 7, 6, 13, 19, 24, 29, so plus 12. Then the mistakes 20, 20, 30, 40, 42, 52, a lot of mistakes. 21 plus 2 is 23. Minus 23 for Canada. For South Africa, it's 19, 29, 39 plus 8 is 47. So minus 40. Lots of mistakes. So plus 17. And that means Canada win by plus 12 or plus 17 if you count the mistakes. So Canada win this match. So yeah, they played better. They brought on the players who have the experience to play at a knockout stage. They counter-pressed. They kept it a bit more simple in the second half. Yeah, and the goal came from a counter-pressing moment. So Scheffelberg down the right. Lose it again, but Eustáquio positions himself correctly, shot from distance. It's that simple sometimes. Haven't enjoyed this game as much as I could have. I think this was the tournament for Canada. This is what they're capable of. Any other opponent than South Africa in these brackets is gonna eliminate them from the round of 16, unfortunately for them. But they have faced up to this challenge. They stick to their plan. They simplified in the second half. Brought their best player on. And they're in the round of 16. Congratulations, Canada. And yeah, man, I'll see you on the next stream next week. All right. Shello out.